Hi Scorpio, this is going to be for Scorpio Sun, Moon, Rising, and the way I have done this and who is determined to be read for next is via the dice, and I've got the numerological one as well, and number 4 come out. So you could have Scorpio in the 4th house of your Sun, Moon, or Rising, or wherever applicable. It could be very much a reading for directly connected to the home. But take what you will from it. This is going to be an archetype reading, so the current archetype that you're embodying, and the messages will be delivered via the tarot. So not all readings are going to resonate with every Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising. But yeah, like I said, just if it applies to you, then that's great. If not, just leave it, and don't make it fit. So let's have a look. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising. What's the current archetype that they are embodying? Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, 4th house. Okay, so we've got the tier. Now, I've only just got these cards, and because the author of this deck hits the nail on the head, I'd like to be able to read from the book, and then throw the interpretation that comes to me via channeling into the mix. So the tier, so I'll just find this in the book and what it represents. So this is what you're currently embodying, remember that? Okay, so we've got, okay, so the tier represents the morning, as in you're in mourning, the release, the rain. Tears are droplets of letting go. Once they begin to fall, we allow the swelling tide of emotion to run its elemental course. Often the tear is what is needed in order for a conversation or situation to break into the next level of intimacy or vulnerability. Some say that tears are so powerful in softening our egos that they open up a portal to the unseen world. Through our watery eyes, the ancestors catch a glimpse of us, and we're reminded of their eternal embrace. We sense our humanity, our humility, and we allow ourselves to be held. It is luckily this card appears when there is grieving yet to do, a sinking down to a disappointment or despair that, once acknowledged, will bring a shimmer of clarity to our dewy eyes. If both the tier and the river appear in this reading, this indicates an excess of water element in your life, as in the Ayurvedic tradition. Balance it with fire and earth. You're a water sign as it is, so it could be very much being Scorpio being the most powerful sign in the zodiac, because they really, really are. I have a very close friend of mine who's coming within his power, very much coming within his power, and that's because he's actually acknowledging those deep down emotions that he has suppressed for a long time, and now the creativity that has come with understanding that he needed to sort of bring those emotions to the level surface. He may not be, he's dealing with things a lot in a lot easier terms. However, the creativity and the profound power that is coming with that is showing him that he can get through circumstances that have been holding him back. It's just a very small tip of what I've seen in his spiritual development, as well as his growth, his understanding of who he is, as well as the people around him, this, that, the other. And I mean, like, I can really understand and appreciate that aspect of Scorpio being the most powerful in the zodiac. It doesn't mean anybody's any less or more important than anybody else. It's not like that. It's just Scorpio has a profound power for the fact that their emotions are so in depth in their soul or in their psyche, or they embody this profound power to be able to not let those emotions get the best of them. However, that's half the challenge that they need to sort of go through, and that this is very much a part of what I feel is going on with a lot of Scorpios at the moment, is they're starting to realise that they are worthy. They do need to release a lot of what has been holding them back, and that is the emotional impact, whatever it may be, relationships, family, career, whatever. So yeah, this is going to be an interesting reading. However, this card is applicable to water signs. So let's have a look at this side. The Tia is powerful and is possible, and it is possible to be subsumed in its waters. Find a supportive place to open the floodgates. Okay, so when light aspected, so when in positive, melancholy flowing through, and when ill aspected or in dark, drowning drama, murkiness, and going deeper into this aspect is rain. So rain is precipitation, rain is very much a release. So this is about releasing something that is really holding you back, and is also you're holding onto, and it's something that has to be released for your benefit. And I feel like that's something that you're actually going through in a profound way. And because it is the 4th house, it very much could be to do with your home, family, heritage. Could be directly to the mother as well. Yeah, so remembering those aspects are a part of the number itself, the 4th house. So they could be applicable to the home, and also home is where the heart is. So yeah, apply it where necessary. So let's have a look at what the current circumstances are. And I'm just seeing that 10 of Cups. That's emotional fulfillment, wishes as well for the home. But let's have a look. What's the current circumstances for Scorpio Sun and rising in the 4th house? Generally, see what is the current circumstances for the Tia. Okay, so lightning fast news that is breaking out, something that's coming in rationally, something that's coming in very fast, something that you need to get a hold of the reins and understand why this is happening. I will clarify that one now. Okay, clarify the Knight of Swords. Why is the Knight of Swords here? It could be applicable to a Gemini or Aquarius or Libra, but it doesn't have to be. But it's somebody that has a message or something of news some sort of news that is coming in that is going to sort of rock your world a bit. Let's have a look. Clarify. Okay, so the Queen of Cups, it could be to do with another water sign, but it also could be to do with something that you weren't expecting. So if this is an aspect of yourself, you could be, your feeling of comfort is now about to be shaken up in a way that will bring that emotional aspect through. Okay, so if this is not to do with yourself, then it could be very much to do with another female water sign, so it could be your mum. But it doesn't have to be. Now, what I'm seeing here is it's a feeling of letting go. So this I'm feeling could be your archetype itself, not necessarily somebody else. The news that you hear, the news that you come into awareness about, it allows you to let go. There's a feeling of peace there. There is a fear. I do feel like there's a fear. The fear needs to be understood as it's a new way of dealing and thinking of things in your life. Because this news, or however this information that you come across, is now going to alter your way of doing things. That holds back that emotion. It's now not about the mind, it's going to be about the emotional impact and the next move you make with that emotional impact. So you're not going to see this coming, it's going to be a little bit unexpected, but the awareness being that if you're watching this reading, you've already got like a semi heads up, but it's not going to be something that is I feel that you're going to think. You'll know what it is when it happens, but the reading could actually reveal a little bit of the clue. Okay, so we've got, this has come out when I've said that as well. So it could be, this could be an overdose. I've just heard. Be careful. In particular, I am getting strongly stroke as well. So just be mindful of you overindulging, overdoing it mentally as well. Cutting that, you need to let go of that racing mind. You need to take the breaths in and out, and that's what I'm feeling right now, is a need for you to take some time to breathe. Because your mind is racing, and it's racing to a point where it's unhealthy, and it could cause a lot of burden in the mental side of things. But I am getting that there might be an overindulgence in some area, and one is not looking after themselves. You've burnt the candle at both ends, in a sense, is what I'm being told as well. This could be very much to do with, I'm also getting that if you or somebody in your immediate environment who you may be able to relate this to, it could be overindulgence in alcohol as well, where anger and fighting may come to the surface. Just be careful of neglecting the things that are in your household as well. Being aware of what is actually in your environment that could be could be an issue, especially related to house fires. There's a lot of messages for this one, so you need to really take note, but look after number one if it is to do with yourself and you're overexerting your mentality and overthinking things. You need to stop. You need to take 3 deep breaths. So I'm out of breath at the moment from this. And let go of that worry. Now, if this is directly connected to somebody in particular, just be mindful of if they are into any type of substance abuse or anything like that. Be mindful of what they are taking and the amount that they are taking, because I'm looking at this as overdoing it and not thinking consciously about how much is being taken in order to stay balanced enough, or stay conscious, or even just making sure that that person hasn't overdone it. That's really coming through strongly, and it's something that could happen just like that. So be very careful about careful for yourself if this relates to you, but if it is somebody that the first person you think of and you know that it could be to do with them, be mindful. Use your voice. The best thing you can do is use your voice and say, then not say. If it does cause any kind of argument or anything like that, if they are impaired in alcohol abuse or anything like that, where they are likely to lash out or anything, just take that approach carefully. And obviously take the right measures to make sure that yourself and the people that are in your environment, as well as the person themselves, is not going to do any harm to themselves or anybody else. That comes very strongly, guys, so just be very aware of that. It's 4th house, so let's remember that is very much connected to the home. And like I said, I am also getting that neglect of the environment, so there was something to do with fire, especially like, for example, females leaving hair straighteners on, or whatever applicable. Just be mindful of your environment. Right, so what's hidden but will surface? Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising. I'm very much out of breath, so just be careful. Okay, the Emperor. I'm going to clarify that one. Clarify the Emperor. It's also the fourth zodiac. Sorry, it's also the fourth card. So, and to do with an Aries, don't focus so much on the zodiac signs themselves, but if it is applicable, we've got Capricorn and Aries, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius here, and also plus Cancer, Scorpio. So, but don't be focused solely on them. These are obviously archetypes. They're also different energies that we can develop or embody. Now, the Emperor represents somebody of structure, somebody that's a fatherly figure, somebody that's stern, grounded, not very approachable in circumstances, but this is something that's hidden but will appear. So it could be authorities as well. Clarify the Emperor for the Scorpio. Alright, so the Ace of Wands. You need to balance out, okay, so there's a need for you to balance out the way that you can entangle or entwine your thought process. So this could be very much tied in with what I've already said, but the messages that I'm getting is that you're not, okay, so I'm actually hearing fire again, but I'm also I'm connecting it to very much overdoing it, like burning out, mentally burning out. Yeah, and I'm also going back to in the home. Be very careful of anything that could be related to a potential fire. You also need to let when it comes to your imagination, don't let it wander to a point where you become engulfed in a cloudy, perceptive, I can't even say this word today, perceptive, yeah, like, so when it comes to your imagination, be grounded in a sense that you need to, don't let your mind wander too much. So this could be very much going back to this whole neglect of the environment. You may need to restrain the thought process. You may be like carried away with your own endeavours and neglect the things that are going on in your immediate environment. You need to get a hold of that and stay structured and be aware, because what is hidden is that you're going to come into something, very much a phase where you'll need to sort of snap out of it. That's what I'm hearing, and get a hold of your thought, your wild imagination. Okay, interesting. I hope that resonated there. That was just the messages that come through, and they are going back and forth between two possible scenarios. But yeah, if it's not one, it's the other, and if it's not the other, then it can very much be tied into one whole scenario. So just be mindful of your environment, and don't let your thoughts go astray. Be mindful of how if you're getting enough sleep, if you're getting enough, if you're maintaining your health correctly as well, because that will be where that sudden influx of news or information, or that quick energy that comes through, you need to be aware. If you're not aware, then things could be catastrophic, is what I'm hearing. Okay, so the next card, past that's still influencing the present, is Queen of Pentacles. Now we've got a lot of major as well as court cards, so there's a lot of people, there's a lot of involvement with others. The past is very much, I feel like this is another person. I don't feel like this is something that you've embodied as a persona or archetype. I feel like this is very much to do with a person, and I'm hearing strongly it could be very much tied to your mother or motherly-like person, or motherly-like connection that you have with somebody, somebody that makes you feel nurtured, whole. They put value on the connection that they've got with you and others. So the one that you look to for certain aspects to do with those energies, that is where I'm seeing that this person is from the past, it's still influencing the present, could be very much the person that you need to sort of focus on to make sure that they are okay. Got the Judgment card underneath as well. So I'm also getting that there could be an unexpected death as well. Now, this won't resonate with everybody, but just be mindful, like I said, of if it applies to you, you'll know. But I am strongly getting motherly light figure, and I'm also getting somebody that is passing over to the angelic realm. So, okay, let's move forward. What's the best that Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising? Okay, 2 of Swords. Now, saying this just before, it is not something that you will see coming, and there's not something that you need. It's something that you need to just prepare for in as much possible way that you can, because, like I said, it's not something that you're going to expect. However, there is something that you're not seeing, and the best you can expect is you're going to have. I still feel like your mind is just elsewhere at the moment, and is not focused on the things that sort of need to be focused on at this time. You're leading with your head, but in your own creative endeavours, which are allowing for your environment to sort of get out of control. I feel like you could be in some way like this particular archetype towards the people that are in your environment or family. You are the one that is structured. You're the fatherly type figure. You could be very much the masculine one that has their head on their shoulders, but at this time you could be very much just la-di-da about stuff, and that is what I'm seeing as a need for you to just balance that out. And I'm out of breath still. Okay, alright. What is Scorpio's next move? Okay, yeah, okay. So your next move is taking that awareness on board. So I feel like the people that are watching this and that I am connecting with are going to very much take that on board. You are going to be looking for things in your environment that could be of this nature, where it could be of worry. Now, remember to relax the mind and take the deep breaths in and out. Focus on the breath and make sure that you are not over thinking things though as well, because like I said, this is not going to be something that you're going to expect. However, having that awareness is necessary, but you need to balance the mind and make sure that you stay focused on what is going on around you as well, and not be too held up or too involved in other endeavours that don't really require our attention at this time. Yeah, because look, underneath we have the Tower. So it is essential. You need to sort of really take note of these things. They are important at this time. Let's have a look at the how you see yourself, what you can do, Scorpio. Alright, we've got 2 cards, so there's options here. Alright, so Chariot, and we've got the Page of Pentacles. So taking a safe approach is what I've just heard just then, but this is about movement. And this is also, I'm seeing with the Emperor, then the Knight of Swords, I'm actually seeing external forces that may be of help to you at this time. So if it is a case of an emergency, I feel like these together, they are going to be of aid, but at the same time, how you see yourself is moving forward and taking a practical approach to your situation. So that's why it's got 2 different meanings, because with other card combinations like there is in here, they can just throw off the exact example of different scenarios in a tarot card reading. But this particular one, I'm focused really on the fact that how you're seeing yourself is you're spiritually aware of things. You're focusing but though on too much practical matters. But what you need to develop now is that sense of structure, and balance the mind. Take the breaths in and out over the course of however long wherever necessary, especially if you're aware of something that has been going on in your immediate environment to do with others or yourself. You'll know. But if this is sort of tweaking your interest at the moment, then it is also a benefit for you to know that making sure that you take a very judgment approach, because your spiritual senses, as in your instinct, is telling you to be alert about stuff. And even though your mind might be set on other objectives at the moment, there's a need for you to just take note of what's going on in your immediate environment. Keep getting that very strongly. You also could be embodying somebody that is only focused on practical matters where necessary, where money needs to come in, or you need to you need to stabilise or structure yourself in a material sense. But that's where you need to be careful and not focus solely on those endeavours, because something is definitely coming in, there's news coming in. And then, like I said, throughout the whole reading, this has sort of jumped back and forth. It could be relating to some people, could be relating to others. However, if this is a whole reading, then just be very mindful of the immediate environment, and anybody that could be potentially at risk, basically. So, in your environment, the Fool, at risk. Okay, so the Fool is somebody that is naive, is somebody that is not looking where they're going, is immature, not in the negative sense, but the one that is just oblivious or naive to any risk factors involved. Now this is Aries. It doesn't have to be that zodiac sign. We've got lots of major arcana here. And lots of involvement with others, younger energy as well. The only two cards that aren't majors or court cards are the Ace of Wands and the Two of Swords. So that's just what I've noticed. So that just remember these things. There's going to be a lot of things that are floating into your mind right now as you're listening to this reading. But stay focused. There's a need for you to stay focused. Look where his head is. He's not even looking about that cliff and what he's yet to face. There is people or loyalty in your environment, because this is the environment card. So there is people in your environment, or you could be the person in an environment that is aware of these things that are going on, and vice versa. But don't be neglecting that attention that you're getting, or that you're, or be vocal to the person that needs to be told, in a subtle as well. Be careful about how you approach it, but just don't be neglectful of what you're being told, especially with the loyal factors. There is something in your environment that is giving you the heads up, or very much trying to warn you, okay, about what's yet to come. So don't be naive to that, and don't neglect criticism. This could be very much about your bringing those emotions, like I said, to the surface. You may not be liking what you're hearing, but if there's loyal people that give a shit about you in your environment, then take note of it, because it's only for your own good. You don't necessarily have to agree with it, just take note of it. It's necessary for your own growth, and especially if it's something to do with a risk that could harm you or others, then that loyal person is trying to get your attention, or you could be this person that's trying to get that person's attention. Alright, so take what resonates there. Hopes and dreams. Okay, so we've got the Sun card, which is a beautiful card that's come out in this position. Okay, it is a positive card. You're wanting to have that positive outcome, but what I'm hearing is your mind is set that is gonna be the be all and end all, the outcome of this situation or whatever. But I'm going to clarify that one, because with everything that's going on, you could be just mindset on one outcome, one objective. And with these cards involved, it's not necessarily something that I just want to say, oh, it's all good, because, well, to me, it needs to be justified as to why it's all good. So let's have a look. Clarify the Sun. Why is the Sun here for the hopes and dreams? Clarify the Sun. Yeah, the Nine of Swords. Yeah, this is where you may be overly optimistic about the outcome of something, but you're not letting these things surface, which is a good thing. At the same time, you need to develop that sense of bringing those emotions to the surface for you to be able to grow and stop neglecting them or closing that feeling of emotion coming forward. Okay, so with this entangle or with this entwine, this could be very much something that you're not seeing and you're staying too overly optimistic about what's going on. But I'm looking at these birds and it looks like one is in spirit. So there could be very much something that you're clouding your judgment on, and you're not looking at the reality of a situation. So take that lightly, because I don't want to freak anybody out, but I am an honest reader, and that's what I'm seeing in these cards. So the black crows, the crows can be of news. They're smart, intelligent, they are very aware, but you're clouded with you may be coming across in your realistic point of view as too smart for your own good, in a sense that if you're remaining too overly optimistic about a situation without being a worrywart, you just need to balance that out and just be mindful that if you're thinking that not everyone for themselves, they can work it out on their own, this, that, the other, that may be that wake up call that you get with that sudden influx of information that could be an eye opener to a point that it will shock you. Either way, you're going to have a little bit of a unsettling feeling that will come about with all this, but just be mindful that the Sun card is the best and most positive card in the deck. But I mean, the Nine of Swords, you need to stay focused, balanced, stay optimistic, but just remember that it could be very much something that you're telling yourself when there's a reality in front of you. Okay, and the outcome is, there's a Six of Pentacles, so that's balance in itself. Balance out your time and need for yourself as well as others in a productive way for you to stay remotely aware of what is going on and how much time you're giving to others, and as well as focusing on yourself, as well as if it's directly connected to somebody in your immediate environment that is of worry. That's where you could be devoting too much time to others and not focusing on the people that have put their time into yourself as well. So it's all about equal give and take at the end of the day. All right, so let's have a look at the healing mantra. More gets accomplished when everyone has a role to play, okay? So remembering that, creating cooperation, and that's exactly what I'm talking about with the Six of Pentacles. More gets accomplished when everyone has a role to play. So remember that you need to balance out how much you're giving to everybody else, especially those that aren't giving back, and how much you're actually giving to yourself, and being selfless, not selfish, and being wise and aware in your immediate environment. There was a couple of others, I will honour them. I am most powerful when my creativity is given a voice. There is nothing to do but wait. Don't choose sides, I take a stand. Okay, so just if they resonate with you, that's great. I just thought I'd read them aloud, but I won't go into it too much because this one has gone over the time, but that's okay because it was necessary, especially with what is going on at the very start of this reading. It's really, really essential that you just be mindful of what is actually going on within yourself or within a person that's obviously close to you. I'm feeling it could be a mother, or it could be very much somebody that you look to as in a motherly way per se. Alright, so remembering that the current archetype that you are embodying is the Tia, and it is about releasing and bringing forth those emotions to be able to deal with them in a balanced way. But there is news coming in. There is something that you're not going to see coming, but that is now up to you to stay focused on what needs to be focused on at this time. Okay, Scorpio, thank you. Please like, share and subscribe, and talk soon.